In today's video, I am going to be showing you some diamond dribbling with some different finishes and how you can use this drill to be able to teach the ability to finish in different ways. And I'm going to be showing you all the different ways, or at least a few different ways that I showed David, Iridian, Desiree in this clip. So let's get down, let's check this out. If you are a basketball coach, make sure to go check out my practice plans that are down in the description below. So the idea behind this drill is you have a diamond set for the pylons, you cross over at the first one, second one, and then you finish around that third pylon. The idea is basically being able to get to that rim, have different finishes while beating your main and help or gap defender while getting to the rim. Sometimes you can take a lot of dribbles like this, other times you cannot do this in game, other times you will have to pick up the ball early before you get to that gap defender, so keep that in mind. This time, while we are finishing, I am holding a stick. It's a padded stick. You can use whatever you want. Obviously, all of the devices that I use are linked in the description below. But the idea here is for the offensive player to finish the layup with an outstretched arm away from their body, using their body as a shield to the defender. This way, you're going to be able to get those layups off and using your body as a shield. But this is not the easiest thing to be able to do, so you gotta practice it, because practicing it is very important. Now we're going to be moving into taking that one extra dribble, but then making contact while outstretching your arm away from your body so that you are able to, of course, keep that distance away from that defender. And by you making contact first, that's going to create hopefully some separation between yourself and that defender. Obviously, whatever you do on one side, you also want to be able to do on the other side as well, and that's what we are doing right here. There's different ways of finishing as well. You can finish with floaters while making that contact, but at the same time, what I would really like to be able to have finishes at the rim with is getting high off the backboard, or if you went with an inside hand finish as well. I would like my players, or at least in this case David, to be able to switch between those two and have different finishes. And if you want to make it tougher, if you are a trainer in my position there holding the pad, you can actually talk to them and say while they're hitting you the type of finish you want to see them do. That way you can have them change their finish or what their mind is telling them to do halfway through, or at least at the beginning of their scoring cycle, so that they're able to adapt faster when they are in game. Now, with this next finish, it's going to be a spin move on contact. So as soon as you make that contact, you want to go for that spin move. The idea here is you're making contact with that defender, help defender, or whoever it may be, and then by making that contact and then spinning off, you're creating a gap or a space between yourself and the defender, and you should be able to get your layup off much easier. Notice also how David keeps that ball high on the spin so that you keep that ball away from reaching hands. If that ball is out on your waist, it's probably going to get stolen, so keeping it high at head or higher height is actually massively beneficial. Now, this next move can be called a travel if you don't do it right. Now, watch what David does right here. When he goes for this spin move, he keeps his hand on top of the ball and gathers it on that last foot. So here, when he spins, he gathers on his left, so that now that left is the pivot foot, which is the foot where he has to keep planted to the ground, and then the other foot is able to move around. If you gather the ball too early, so if you put the ball in two hands while you're spinning or right before you spin, you will be called for a travel because it is a travel. However, if you can keep your hand on top of the ball or beside the ball while you are spinning and then gather on that last foot, you are going to be able to do this move and not be called for a travel, or at least you shouldn't be called for a travel because it's not a travel. You are allowed to keep your dribble alive until you put the hand under the ball, in which case is his right foot. You're allowed to step through. You're allowed to lift your pivot to shoot or pass, which means that this is not a travel. So I hope that this video has helped you become a better basketball player. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want any of the equipment that is in this video, check the links down in the description below. And if you want to be able to have practice plans, if you are a basketball coach, make sure to go check out the practice plans that are down in the description as well. Anyways, comment, tell David that he did a fantastic job, as well as Desiree and Erdy, and I'll see you guys again in my next video.